This is the BBC.
This podcast is supported by advertising outside the UK.
BBC Sounds. Music, radio, podcasts.
Welcome to the Bunk Bed podcast. It's dark. We're in bunk beds, and this is the nearest faraway place for Patrick Marber and Peter Curran from the hurly-burly of the day, where the tired mind can wander. And on the pull-out mattress is the wonderful Bafta-winning stage and film actor Rhys Ifans.
When you get an itch in your eye, and
there's a clock I'm hearing. It's very soothing.
it's so itchy that you'd sort of rather poke your eyeball out than not attend to it.
I can't understand why, the way your mum and dad would always stop for cups of tea, any excuse for a cup of tea somewhere. If all these coffee shops are able to sell, make millions from selling hot water with a few beans or a few tea leaves in it, how come all those little tea shops went out of business?
Because the staff steal from them.
Oh.
That's what people tell me. That the most problematic thing about running a tea shop or a coffee shop is staff pilfering.
Is it?
That's what people who own these. Because I've always wanted to have my own little cafe.
It's a pilfer.
Well, I just like the idea of being the proprietor.
Yeah.
Who always gets a good table and can sort of, have friends over. Come and have a cup of tea at the cafe. And people have warned me off, saying, you just can't get the staff. And they nick all the cash. And then they start nicking your jam, your butter, your bread.
And your china.
Your china, your tea bags.
See, you
they
wouldn't
have
get
a lot.
people nicking china from Costa, because Costa don't have china.
No.
So that's probably what brought them to their knees. But they were really... Remember those old coffee, tea places? They always had those huge, like almost steam engine things at the end of the counter.
Yeah.
That always looked really dangerous. And they were really noisy. I mean, they were steam trains that made tea. I think I always imagined a little woman shoveling coal into them.
Yeah.
But it was a big, noisy, steamy affair, wasn't it? When those,
And you worried for the people operating it, didn't you?
Yeah.
When you were a kid, you were wondering. The guys used to take in little pocket globes, didn't they, into the coffee houses?
Did they?
Yeah, it was a sort of fashionable thing. Little pocket globes about the size of a cricket ball inside a fish skin case, and they'd sort of say, "Oh, I've bought some tea from here," or "My ship bringing stuff from here to here," and they'd get out their little globe and show their friends on the down the coffee shop.
What, globes as in maps of the world?
Yeah, maps of the world, yeah.
How brilliant.
Yeah, they would walk around with their own personal little map.
To boast with.
Yeah, there's probably a bit of that. Oh, have you heard of this place? And if somebody said no, he'd get his globe out.
Yeah. That's why I want to open a cafe, you see. Because it's a sociable place.
Yeah, but you're going to sit in the corner. Would it not make people uneasy?
Yeah, I would. I'd probably have to ban myself. Sometimes I have a shave. In the Turkish barber, they do a wet shave, with the towels and that.
Yeah.
They always offer you coffee. And I always feel a bit guilty that I refuse their coffee. But I had it once. And it's, very gritty. You can stand a spoon in it.
And strong, right?
Really strong, viscous. I said, no, thanks. I've just had one. Lie upon lie.
Do you remember the first time you were punished for telling a lie? Do you remember, Rhys?
I remember the first lie I had to contain for a long period of time, and it was torture. I must have been about 8 years old, and I just moved to a new primary school. And it's nothing now, but I think it's kind of had a bit of an effect on me. And there was these, like, you know, workbooks where you had to do sums and colour stuff in, and then you'd finish the book and put it away in the cupboard. And I didn't bother doing the last 2 pages. And it went back in the cupboard, and I knew, you know, towards the end of term or something, the book would come out again and be checked. And I lived, you know, for what felt like months and months and months with the guilt of not finishing that thing, and to the point where, you know, I wouldn't be able to sleep, and it was just nothing. It was nothing. Yeah. And I remember it was the first kind of burden I'd ever had, you know. It was.
But you did it to yourself, right?
Yeah. And it was fine. And then the book came out, and, you know, it went for nothing, you know.
Actually, it wasn't a big deal.
No, it wasn't a big deal at all.
Right.
It was like, you know, when you have those murder dreams, you know, where you think you've killed someone, or you know, where you're incarcerated. It was like that, but in real life. And going home and you know, all the are you all right? Are you all right? Yeah, I'm fine.
But there was something about you that was worried.
Yeah. I think that's when worried was first programmed into my.
But I remember having all these very dark, worrying thoughts as a child.
Yeah.
And not having anywhere to put them. No one to tell. Because no one tells you it's all right to have these dark, worrying thoughts.
No.
No one tells you it's normal. Maybe they do now, I hope so.
You're protecting your parents, aren't you, and half the time? Because you think that they might explode if you tell them something too concerning or something.
Yeah, because they spend their whole lives telling you that all they want is for you to be happy. So you feel guilty if you're not happy.
Yeah.
And you feel they'll take it personally. Which, in my case, they would. Were you a tall child?
No, I wasn't, you know. No, I was the smallest. I kind of grew. I had a big spurt when I was, for want of a better turn of phrase, when I was a teenager. I could almost hear myself growing at night.
Wow.
And I had the old pains in the legs and that.
Yeah.
But I think I grew like over a summer. I remember my mum bought us like a new school uniform at the end of term. And then it was too small for me by, you know, September. Yeah.
Was that a big relief then when you thought, oh, fantastic?
No, I didn't really. I kind of liked being small, you know. The being tall thing wasn't really, wasn't a big life changer. I got a lot more attention and love, and I got away with more when I was smaller. That's
true, but you tall people, you don't really understand what it's like down here. It's a whole other world for the shorter gentleman. It really is. Honestly.
You're not that small.
I am. I'm about 5'9" in my heels. And to be 6 foot, I feel I would be a much more confident person.
Yeah,
which probably could be disastrous, but small man psychology is you're always looking up to people. You know, it does something to the soul.
And yet we're frightened of you.
Yeah, because I'm such a little small man.
You might be scheming against us. Well,
Like Napoleon. There are a lot of the small man in history. It tends to be an absolute shitter. There are very few benevolent small men.
No, they haven't had a good run, have they?
No.
Although Gandhi was small, wasn't he?
He's thin.
Then,
But yeah, he probably was small.
yeah,
Yeah. He's really our patron saint.
yeah,
Brand ambassador for the smaller man.
yeah. And Ronnie Corbett.
Ronnie, yes. Yeah. Got any more?
David Bowie.
But he wasn't. I don't think Bowie was at my level.
I don't know. It's a big personality. One of those.
You have to be when you're small.
He did wear a lot of heels,
Yeah.
didn't he?
You're forced
There was a
develop a-
pattern,
Yeah.
definitely. With all his looks, he never wore flat shoes.
No.
And all those characters.
You're
Ziggy
right.
Stardust right the way through, they
You're
all had
right.
heels.
That's a very good shout there, Rhys.
There's a book on that, Rhys.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes, maybe that's why he developed those characters.
Yeah.
If you think about the spaceman, his big astro boots. Ziggy, obviously.
He never was like a sandaled or a slippered character
No,
throughout his career.
no. He was never the thin white Jesus, was he?
No.
Yeah, had to be stacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ziggy Espadrille. Wasn't going to happen for him.
You know, it's a terrible thing to say. I had this argument with my son the other day about social media, that the world seemed to turn okay before everyone felt compelled to express their opinions about stuff. And moreover, they felt compelled because you put a thing in their hand and said, go on, you're a failure if you don't give off about stuff.
Yeah. Maybe it's my age, but I think it's all, as well a response to that culture where one is expected to have an opinion. And I love the liberty of saying, let me think about it. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I don't know yet how I feel about that. Give me a minute. That's kind of untweetable, really, isn't it? That sort of thing.
I tweet only positively.
Right.
But I went on Twitter because I felt that I was at risk of becoming too isolated.
Right.
Because as a writer, you spend most of your time alone. And I thought, I'm going to see what it's like out in the social media world. What about you, Pete? Are you on Twitter too much, do you think?
Sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
But you didn't get involved in spats with people, do you?
Not really. The occasional one, but yeah, it always ends badly.
Oh.
Well, I mean, in the sense of you just feel like some pound shop version of Peter Finch and Network screaming, I'm not going to take it anymore. You know, I just don't have the dance steps of dispute. I just become depressed and exasperated. So yeah, wait until millions of people have already kicked the target to death and then join in with a really weak,
That kid in the playground who, when someone was lying beaten up, would get the last kick in. And there was absolutely no danger of the beast turning. I'd have been like that had I, been part of a tribe killing an animal. I'd have chucked a stone at it when it was already dead.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd have gone in there with a knife and fork just towards the end.
I'm so glad I'm not a cave dweller. That'd have been awful. To be the sensitive one amongst a tribe of hunter-gatherers.
Perpetually spitting different coloured berry juices at my hand on the wall.
And you'd have been a painter?
Yeah, the one with, the cave drawings. I'd have been doing that, yeah. I think. That seems like a nice.
They wouldn't. That wouldn't be an excuse to not go on the hunt.
Well, no, you'd have to go on the hunt to be able to record it, wouldn't you?
Yes, good one. The hunt artist.
Yeah.
Patrick, how would you have expressed your sensitivity as a non-hunter, given there'd be no writing materials, and Rhys has already cornered the cave paintings thing?
I think I'd have done a one-man show. I'd have written a sort of very putative, very primitive stand-up act.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
Talking about being the sensitive one who didn't like going hunting. What would you have been, Pete?
Oh, I used to daydream about, being transported back hundreds of years, with a car.
Oh, yeah, I have them.
Do you?
Yeah.
And how you would kind of explain yourself, how you would get on with this amazing thing that you had in the olden days.
Or a helicopter, or, yeah. You'd be an instant god.
You mean if you landed in the Acropolis in your helicopter?
Yeah.
There'd be no language that could express the surprise.
Yeah.
Of a
Or
helicopter
even if you just rocked up with an ironing board, you'd be up there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have to go as far as a helicopter. An ironing board or a whisk.
A box of matches, mate.
Pair of brogues.
Yeah.
Torch.
Coat hanger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life of luxury.
Yeah.
If you showed up with a coat hanger, that'd be it.
Yeah.
People would give you gold.
Yeah.
For the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I usually imagine Henry VIII, you'd land on the lawn at Hampton Court, and Henry VIII would be absolutely astounded and shower you with all these riches.
Yeah.
But then it ends up being a real anxiety dream, because you start thinking about the fuel gauge going down and down, knowing you can never fill up again.
That's what I mean. See, whereas with a whisk, that's not going to happen, is it?
Well, no, you need electrics for a whisk.
No, one of those hand ones that you turn.
I see, yeah.
It would be the first use of a cog, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because the whisk, it looks like a weapon, but actually it's for cakes. I mean, you knew that.
I wasn't entirely sure. I mean, I've never used one.
Come on, you have.
I haven't.
You whisked eggs before, haven't you?
No.
But I remember as a child that the whisk with the handle on the side, that being a great thing to play with.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I'd take it in the bath.
Yeah.
To make a sort of bubbly bath. Great.
It was also a good Gatling gun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You'd sort of open up and approaching, anybody really.
Yeah.
Surely you didn't do that during the Troubles, Pete. People could have got the wrong idea.
Cowboys and Indians and mock Winchesters and all that sort of stuff continued.
Really?
Even as, the soldiers were driving past with their carbines pointing at you. You were still whipping your sides and running down the road and then shooting at someone in a hedge with an imaginary gun.
Cowboys and Indians, that's not played anymore, is it? How does a playground divide itself now in terms of imaginary games?
Wow.
I don't know what they do.
Remainers.
And Brexiteers.